Andariki namaskaramulu. Today is another good day for all of us, but we are going to have another lecture from Dr. Karanam Nagaraja Rao garu. This is the fourth day of our classes on Mahabharatam, traditional values and Sanatana Dharma in Mahabharatam is being covered. We had a lot of interesting lectures so far in the last 1.5 months. And now we are left with one more week where we will see Ramayanam and also Puranams and some research topics. Tomorrow will be one class on Puranam because Nagaraja Rao garu is not available. He will again take the last class on 29th of this month. So let us start with Vande Mataram by Challa Chittibabu garu.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Sobrajyosna pulakita pulla kusumita drumadala sobhini suhasini sumadhura bhashini sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram Vande Mataram. Namaskar.
Vande Mataram. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now, Pantal garu, are you available? So let us request Pantal garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Namaskaraha. 1 minute meditation, please. Oh. Ganantvā Ganapatim Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamasravastvam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspataha Anusrunvannoti Bissidasadhanam Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinam Avitravatu Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरो परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ स्वस्ति
ధన్యవాదములండి. Now let us request Nagaraja Rao garu to continue the webinar, please.
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्याये सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Good morning all of you. Today is the fourth Mahabharata lecture. So I am also privileged to come over here and seeing many persons who are very much interested in Mahabharata. Mahabharata, as I told, will be discussing different aspects of Dharma. Today I think we will be discussing Sharanagata Vatsalata, how it should be there, how it is greater than any other thing. That is one aspect. Second thing is that Vamsha Pratishta. How this sometimes we need to protect our Vamsha Pratishta, Desha Pratishta, whatever it may be. If any aggressor is going to invade into your territory, maybe these are the two issues. So maybe I would like to discuss this through a story only again. The story, because I believe that whenever we narrate a story and explain the concepts, normally that will be imprinted in the mind. We come across beautiful things of this nature in our culture. Vishnu Sharma, he has written what is called Panchatantra. He has written. When he wrote the Panchatantra, the background everybody knows. Why the Panchatantra was written is that there was a king, he was having 4 or 5 sons who were all mudhas, foolish persons, could not cope with the responsibilities of the kingdom. At that particular point of time, the king asked Vishnu Sharma, requested him, why don't you teach them? The 80 years person Vishnu Sharma, he taught these all the 4 or 5 sons with stories that we know. The Panchatantra is a very much inspiring subject, it is there. And again, like Mahabharata, Panchatantra is also like that. A lot of discussion is there in between the stories. And I think if organizers introduce that subject, that would be very great maybe in future. Panchatantra is there or not, I don't know. Panchatantra, it is not the story, to be frank. if you begin to read, I translated to my Mitra Labham, Mitra Vedam, I translated into English with all this, what is called commentary and all this is. And very great book to be frank. The discussion between Karataka and Damanaka, all the time they will be discussing a lot of Rajaniti, other things, many other things. They will be discussing. Similarly, Mahabharata, of course, Mahabharata, majority of the Mahabharata shlokas are just like that taken and inserted in the by Vishnu Sharma into Panchatantra. Sometimes we come across where it is really the where is the origin of that shloka. So Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Nabruyat, Satyam Apriyam. That particular shloka is there in Panchatantra. If we begin to read Panchatantra, we feel that it is written by Vishnu Sharma. It is there in Mahabharata. And believe it or not, that is there in Ramayana also. Sometimes there are some good shlokas, they used to take it out and they used to insert in their books maybe. That is the, maybe in those days, this is what is called, nowadays only if you do some small thing only, we'll be putting patent and all this. It's those days there was no patent. Nobody was bothering about patent. Everybody was interested in spreading the message of Dharma only. But here we are more interested in our patents, our what is called our intellectual qualities, all these things. But where is the intellectuality? The original book is the intellectual, what is called treasure. And all of us are nothing, to be frank. We are just taking out a little bit and we are trying to explain it a little bit. In that way, we have to understand. Anyway, that is one subject. Here today, the discussion is on Ghosha Yatra. Ghosha Yatra, I think most of the persons must be knowing this Ghosha Yatra. Ghosha Yatra is one of the things which has been conducted by Duryodhana. Anyway, we'll go into the story and we will be knowing that entire aspect of Ghosha Yatra. Here, what happens is that Pandavas were in exile. When Pandavas were in exile, and they were facing a lot of difficulties. When they were facing a lot of difficulties, they were roaming in the different types of forests they were roaming. One of the Brahmins, at that point of time, many Brahmins accompanied Pandavas to the Vanavasa. They were also staying there because by virtue of Akshaya Patra, Pandavas could give food to everybody. They were staying there happily. But here one of the persons came back and returned back to Hastinapura. When he came back, Dhritarashtra comes to know that the one Brahmin has come back from the camp of Pandavas. He invited him specially and he wanted to ask how Pandavas are there. This is first-hand information. So that man came and told that Pandavas are suffering a lot. They were there in the forest. In the forest, they are facing all the difficulties. They were wearing Kashaya Vastrams, they are wearing. They are wearing Mruga Charmas, they are wearing. And they are going in that way. He was describing all this, the difficulties of Pandavas he was describing. Then Dhritarashtra also felt very bad. Because of me only all these problems happened. Pandavas must be very angry with me. And he was telling, openly he was telling, many shlokas are there here. Pandavas are very steadfast persons, dharmic persons. They must be angry with me. They follow the path of dharma. But this my son is there, no Duryodhana, this son, he has usurped their wealth. See, this type of active sentences are there. No, my son has usurped his wealth, taken away their wealth. Or even Duryodhana also many times he has told in Mahabharata, we come across many passages that we have taken their property. Dubiously we have taken their property. We have deceived them and have taken their property. Including Shakuni will be telling, Karna also will be telling. Everybody knows that they have done something wrong. Still they were enjoying the luxuries. That is the irony of the story. So he was again, the Dhritarashtra was telling Pandavas must be, we have usurped their wealth by dubious means and inserted them in the royal court. So what will happen with the Pandavas pounce upon us and once they complete their period of exile, what will happen to us? Because Arjuna has gone to Swargaloka, he was physically there in Swargaloka for 5 years. With physical body he was there. And he has got so many astras he has got. Even without astras he was so great. With astras, how can we imagine his greatness? And if he is going to come and Bhima is going to come, what will happen to us? Like that he was thinking like that. He was loudly, he was telling all these things. But I fear the anger of Bhima must be increasing. Dharmaraja may forgive me, and Arjuna also may follow the suit. Arjuna will be following the advice of the Dharmaraja only, and he may also forgive me. But Bhima, I don't think he will forgive me. Like that he was telling. And then there is a beautiful sloka is there. Duryodhanaha Shekunihi. 1 minute. Duryodhanaha Shekunihi. Sutaputro Dusyasanaschaapi Sumanda Chetaha. All these persons are Dusyasana, Shekuni, Sutaputra, Dusyasana. All these persons are Sumandas. These are very, what is called, they are Mandabuddhi people. Mandabuddhi people means they don't see, they are all fools only. Madhu Prapashyanti. They will be saying the nectar only, they will be saying on the top of the tree. Natu Prapatam. Natu Prapatam means over the cliff of a high hill, over that there is a tree is there, over that the nectar is there, they are seeing the nectar only. But if you try to take the nectar, they may fall into the deep valley. But Natu Prapatam, they are not seeing the Prapatam, they are not seeing Rukodara and Jaiva Dhananjayascha, they are not seeing the might of Rukodara, and also they are not seeing the greatness of Dhananjaya, they are not seeing. Duryodhanaha Shekunihi Sutaputro Dusyasanasyapi Tumanda Chetaha Madhu Prapasyanti Natu Prapatam Rukodaranjaiva Dhananjayascha. Like that he tells, he was telling all these things. When he was telling all these things, this type of telling, nobody is there. You will be telling on your own, the louder voice. That is called, normally we call it as a soliloquy. Soliloquy, I think literature people must be knowing this. Soliloquies are very famous for Shakespeare. Shakespeare, particularly Julius Caesar and Othello, all these places we come across these soliloquies of many persons. Othello's soliloquies are very, very famous because you will be telling aloud. Some passages you will be telling. The passages are so great. So here also same thing. And here also the soliloquy of Dhritarashtra. The soliloquy of Dhritarashtra, the Shekuni heard it and he went back. He went back and what he perceived out of this soliloquy is that he has seen only certain aspects only he has taken. Normally when we listen to certain person or certain teacher or whoever it may be, whatever we like only we will be taking it. Other thing, our ears will not listen also. That is here also it is displayed. Dhritarashtra was telling many other things he was telling. Duryodhana Pandavas must be angry with us and all these things he was telling. But Shekuni heard, what he heard is that Pandavas are suffering a lot in the forest. He was very happy. So he came back. Then he was telling the king, "O king, you are the lord of this universe." Duryodhana was telling, all the kings who were earlier the vassals of Pandavas are your vassals now. All the many kings Pandavas have conquered at the time of Rajasuya Yaga. And they are now in exile. Pandavas are in exile. All those kings are your vassals. They are your subordinates. Your empire has become so enormous. And your enemy army is also so massive it is there. You are in riches, to be frank. While your cousins are there, no, the cousins are actually suffering a lot in the forest. That is what I heard from Dhritarashtra today. Dhritarashtra was telling aloud that you are, they are actually suffering a lot in forests. Your riches, and I am telling you one thing, your riches are not riches as long as they are not witnessed by enemies and friends. That is what I am going to tell you. So here also very great shloka is there. Normally, a person will be having a wealth. You are having a lot of wealth. The wealth has no value as long as the wealth is seen by your friend and as long as the wealth is seen by your enemy. That is more important. So your enemies are there, no, they should see your wealth and they should have that jealousy they should have. And your friends also should see it, your relatives should see it. Then only the wealth has some value. The wealth will become pragmatic and more, it will become more valuable. Only it is seen by others only. If you are having the wealth, it is not sufficient. That is just a psychology of human beings, because we are also doing the same thing. Sometimes what we will be doing is that we will be displaying our riches and all these things in such a fashion that sometimes the pomp, valor, and all these things we will be displaying just to please others only. Because you may be having the riches, but still that is not useful. Because I'll be telling one thing. One of my relatives is there in what is called Tanzania. He is there. Tanzania, it seems the property prices are very less. He has taken some 30-40 acres of land, very with a cheap rate. He used to come here and he will be telling, but nobody has seen it. And he feels very bad that my riches are, nobody has seen it. Nobody will go there and see all his property. That is a problem here. So here, here also same thing. The psychology is also discussed here. Now there one good shloka is there, I will be telling. Yam Shriyam Suhrudasyaiva Durhrudasya Vishampate Pashyanti Paurushair Deeptam Sa Samartha Bhavatyuta. See, that is there. A man's worth or wealth becomes total only when seen by the friends and others only. So that is what I am advising you, O king. That is, he is telling to Duryodhana. O king, we should go to Dutavanam. Now they are there in Dvaitavanam, they are there. We will go there with all pomp, pageantry, and witness our riches and all these things before the poverty-ridden Pandavas. That is what he was telling. And then Karna also comes. Karna also advises the same thing. When he advises the same thing, Duryodhana actually he was very happy to listen to these words. But his worry is that will Dhritarashtra permit his trip? That is one thing. Second thing is that he was telling openly. He was telling, what more happiness I could get when Pandavas were wearing that Kashaya Vastras and Mrugacharmas and wandering in the forest. And I am there in the rich clothes, I am there, rich jewelry I am having. With all these things, if I am going there, what more happiness I will be finding? That is there. But I find that there is no reason to go to Dvaitavanam. There is no work for us. That is also thing. Because these are very relevant here. Shadmana nirjitastetu karsitasya mahavane taponityasya radheya samarthasya maharathaha. Then he was telling, we have defeated them with all deceit only, we have defeated them. And they are now living in the forest. And they are there, and for them, if we see them, then only we will be feeling very happy. Otherwise, there is no happiness here. Then he was telling this type of shlokas, at least 15 shlokas are there here. All these shlokas, what he was telling is that we have no work in Dvaitavanam. We need not go to Dvaitavanam at all. But why we are going to Dvaitavanam is there just to tease Pandavas only. That is my happiness also. Because when they are suffering and suffering in poverty, and we are displaying our riches, and they will be seeing us. And when they are seeing us, then my happiness will go on increasing. That is what Duryodhana tells. And then he was, but his worry was that whether my father will permit me. Do we believe it or not, Duryodhana is not the king. From the beginning onwards, we have to see. When he has given the Angarajyam to Karna, that is not his Rajyam. That also we should understand. What he has given and what he has taken, that we have to understand. This is we have to see, because it's a little bit deviation from the subject I will be telling. Here when the Angarajya Abhisheka took place, now who was the Duryodhana at that time? Duryodhana was just the son of Dhritarashtra, who was not the king at all. Because the kingdom was already decided. There is in Mahabharata, we find only one Rajyabhisheka, that is called Pandu Raja's Rajyabhisheka is there in Mahabharata. Because when Dhritarashtra was born, Satyavati, even before he was born, Satyavati will be asking Vyasa, what type of baby is going to come out? Then he was telling, because she has done like this, she has closed her eyes because of this reason, Ambika. You will be having a Dhritarashtra, one person will be coming out, that one person, one boy will be born, the boy will be Andha. He will be having no eyes at all. Then Satyavati decides on the spot, because in Kuruvamsa is a great Kuruvamsa. In the Kuruvamsa, for becoming a king, Andha is not eligible. That is why we would like to have one more child. Please go to Ambalika. Then he tells. Then he goes to Ambalika. Then Ambalika, when he goes, what will happen is that then is a Panduraja. That is that episode we know. Even she is not pleased happily even with Panduraja also, because he was a Panduvarna, he was there. Even then also she was not very much pleased. She wanted to have one more son. The one more son actually was born to Dasi. That we know the story. Because Dasi Putra cannot become the king of Kuru Samraja. So that is why what she thought, okay, let Panduraja become the king. Like that she decides at that time, that birth of Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, Panduraja, and also Vidra. When they grew up into ages, then Panduraja was crowned. He became the Yuvaraja, and subsequently he became the king of Pandavarajyam, the Kuru Rajyam. When he became Kuru Raja, but he was having so much of respect for his brother, and so he asked Dhritarashtra only to be there in Hastinapura, and he was wandering in the forest. In the forest, he died, of course, at Madri Sahagamanam, and then all the story also, it is subsequent story is there. Pandavas were born. Pandavas were children. They were brought back to again Hastinapura. When they came to Hastinapura, and again what happened is that Dhritarashtra cannot sit on the throne, cannot be the king because he cannot become the king. But still he was sitting on the throne only, unofficially he was sitting, a de facto ruler, maybe like that. Bhishma was actually taking care of the entire aspects of the kingdom. Because of this reason only, yesterday I was telling the story, Drona, when he came there, Drona was appointed by Bhishma only, not even Dhritarashtra. That was the thing. But here what happened is that over a period of time, and Pandavas were in exile, and Duryodhana did not become the king. Dhritarashtra actually he fortified his position and he was daily sitting on the throne only, he was commanding. Like that he was a de facto king. Everybody was believing that he is king only, even though he was not officially crowned. That was the situation. At that point of time, what happened? Astra Vidyabhyasa happened. When Astra Vidyabhyasam was over, then on the day when the Pradarshana took place, and the Karna came into the picture, and immediately Duryodhana came up and he crowned the Angaraja, Karna as Angaraja. And who was he to crown him? To whom the property belongs? It was belonging to Dharmaraja only. Dharmaraja could have objected on the spot. He was a gentleman, he did not object. That was the situation. So here, from the beginning of the episode, the issue is that Pandavas were having the legal right in that present terminology, and maybe Dhritarashtra was having the possession of the property. That was the thing. Even now also many cousins will be fighting for the sake of this property and all these things. One person will be having a legal right, other person will be holding the property. Both persons will be having fight. We come across many episodes in the day-to-day life. That is why only Mahabharata is happening now also, we will be telling. There is no specific here, coming to the subject matter. So here the Dhritarashtra has to permit him, because Dhritarashtra is still king only. Duryodhana is not at all a king. When Dhritarashtra permits only, he has to go. So he goes there. Again, he wanted to ask him, then whether he will permit. That was a big question. Duryodhana, he was expressing his anxiety. He asked Karna and said, you go there, you find some reason for our going there, because I could not get any thoughts. You please suggest me what we should do. On that day, they went for sleep, and Karna did not get sleep at all. That is written in Mahabharata. He was thinking, he was devising certain plans what to do. So he got some idea at the end of the night. So he came running to the Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana in the morning itself, and he was telling, I have got a good idea in the night. What is that idea? The idea is that, anyway, it is permitted for kings to go for hunting of the animals. That is one thing. Second thing is that it is also good for the kings. Kings, it is obligatory for the kings to go to the forest and nearby villages to count the heads of the cows. That is there. Cows head counting was there in Mahabharata times. Cows head counting is very much important because the earlier days they used to count the heads of all, how many cows we are having, like that. Wealth of the cow was a property in those days. Property of a king is decided by the way how many cows they were having. This is there in Vedic period and also subsequent periods also, where we come across this situation. That is why only they used to, Gau is there, no? Gau means a cow. Cow means what is there. For the sake of cows, they used to fight. Many wars used to take place. Because for the sake of cows, fights were happening. That the fights used to be called a sangrama. It is called coming from Gau Shabda only. Gau is cow. Sangrama is for the sake of cows, they used to fight. Because of this reason, the Sangrama has come into the picture. So they used to fight. We are in Mahabharata, we come across in subsequent stage what is called Uttara Gogrhanam. In the Uttara Gogrhanam period also, when all this Duryodhana, all other people wanted to catch hold of the cows of Virat Raja only. Virat Raja was supposed to have in those days, lot of many cows he was having in those days. So because he was having lot of cows, they wanted to take possession of the cows only. Now Uttara Gogrhanam. Go means the cows to be taken out. Uttara Gograhanam, like that. The Uttara Gograhanam purpose, they go there and Arjuna defeated all those persons. That is one more story. So here what happened is that this is here also same thing. Cow counting was very much important for the kings. So he was advising Duryodhana, we'll go there on the pretext of counting the heads of the cows. The counting is actually, believe it or not, this is their place, some other place, because after this Mahabharata and all these things, we come across this counting of horses, cows, or whatever it may be, all this is wealth of the animals. The number of animals counting is there. No, that is that we find, we come across in the medieval period only, when Alauddin Khilji introduced the system of Dag and Chehra. And if you type in Google, you will come across the Dag system and Chehra system is there, because I'm a history student. I know it. The Dag and Chehra systems are actually, Dag is actually to branding of the horses, to brand the horse with one symbol and say a signal, so that it count is taken care of. At any point of time, king should know how many horses he was having at his possession with the different persons. Like this here also, cows used to be counted in those days, and cows counting pretest we can go. He was asking. Gosha Yatra. This is called Gosha Yatra. Gosha Yatra purpose will go. Gosha Yatra is in consonance with Dharma. So Gosha Yatra can be on the pretext of our what we can call our purpose is something different, but we'll be going on the ostensibly for the reason that we are going for the purpose of Gosha Yatra. We will declare, and Dhritarashtra has to give his consent. Let us go and try it. So this is the idea Karna has given to Duryodhana. When the idea was given, everybody was thrilled. It's a good idea only. We can go ahead with this plan. Shakuni also assured. Immediately they went to see Dhritarashtra. All the persons went to see Dhritarashtra, the old king. But he was not interested in Duryodhana's expedition. He told, my dear son, I am telling you one thing. You are seeking my permission for going to Dvaitavanam. But in the forest, I heard that Pandavas are staying in Dvaitavanam only. And just a few days back only, that one Brahmin came and he was telling that Pandavas are in the Dvaitavanam. We defeated them in a dubious way. We snatched away their wealth. In the forest, I heard that they are there with a lot of parents. They are doing, even there also they are doing yajnas and yagas and all these things. And by virtue of this spiritual power, they got physical power also. They improved their what is called their skills and all these things. They improved there. And one more thing is that they may be angry with us. They are good, I agree. But in spite of that, they are in trouble. When they are in trouble, even a good man may sometimes retard. That is there, no? Because a cat is there. A cat is pushed to the corner. And if you begin to fire, beat it, what will happen? It will pounce upon you. That is there. Here also same thing. They are good people, I know. They are Satyavrata people only. Still, when we go there and if we present our riches before them, and what will happen is they may feel very bad, and sometimes their anger may rise up. Their anger may conquer their what is called Satyavratam and all this is. If they pounce upon us, what will happen? You can't defeat them. That I know it. My advice is, please shun this idea. Don't go there. Stay in the house only. If you want to count the heads of the cows, you need not go. You send some other person. Like that he tells him. Then Chakudi comes and he was telling, King, it is not like that. You believe it or not, Pandavas, Dharmaraja is a Dharmagna. He is a Dharmagna, he follows the dictum of Dharma. He will never deviate from Dharma, even at the cost of his life. That I know, you know, and everybody knows here. He will not deviate Dharma. And all other things you are telling, Bhima and other persons you are telling. Arjuna, you believe it or not, he is a sincere believer of Dharmaraja. Whatever he tells, dutifully he will follow him. Bhima is an aggressive person, I agree. But still, if Dharmaraja commands, Bhima has to follow it. Because you don't worry about Dharmaraja. As long as Dharmaraja, Dharmagna is there, we can happily go there, no problem. And one more thing I am telling you is that we are not going to see Pandavas at all. We are going to Dvaitavanam only to see our cows only. We never go even nearer to Pandavas also. This assurance we can give you. Please give us permission. This permission, if he is there, we are going there. Dvaitavanam, we are going there. We want to take, now are you going there? How many of you are going there, Dhritarashtra? So Dhritarashtra was very much, he was very much upset because he did not want these persons to go, but he wanted to ask because he has to give consent at the time. He was to take all the data he wanted to take. How many people of you are going? We are taking we would like to take our harem, that is called all the queens also we would like to take. Why for? Then he was saying, yeah, they should be there. When they wanted to see how we are going there and how we are chasing the animals and all these things, how we are going to kill all those things. They should be there like that. And what he can do, he thought, you go, little number of people you can go, not big people you don't go like that, he says it, and he gave his permission. Unwillingly only he gave the permission. But once the permission is given, these persons, what they took was that they took the entire harem of ladies, and also the vendors means why they have to sell certain items there, because it is actually a big nowadays we call it as a parasha, something of that nature, no, but big festivities activities should be there. Because of this reason they took vendors also, they took vanikas, they took the businessmen, they have taken the Vandi Magadas, they have taken. Vandi Magadas means Vandi Magadas are two persons. So Vandi is something different and Magada is one person. Both put together we call them Vandi Magada. Vandi Magadas are official, because these are paid persons who will be actually praising the king all the time. For that purpose, kings used to give salary for those persons and keep 2 or 3 persons at their what is called at their places. All the kings, to be frank, in the olden days. Why? Because whenever the king walks in that particular spot, these persons will be praising the king, his family, lineage, and all these things. Praise the king is coming like that, and they praise, oh, is that all these things. Vandi Magadas. The Vandi Magadas they have taken. All these persons they have taken, and in Mahabharata it is described that they have taken 8,000 horses and some 10,000 or something like that elephants, and the description is there here in Mahabharata. Anyway, this is a big procession. Big procession they have taken with all ladies also. They were cheering these persons. Cheering means we come across the cricketers are playing cricket and the cheer girls are there like that. No, maybe in those days, Mahabharata times. They cheer for the cheering them. When they are killing one elephant, somebody has to cheer them. And these people will be killing all those things in this type of activity. So they went there to the forest ultimately. They reached there. Once they reached there, they hunted for some time on that day. And by the hunting took place. By evening, they counted all these the cows and all this is that entire work took place. And the next day is a happy day for them, and they wanted to rest on that particular day in the night because it is already dark, and they did not want to go back. They wanted to stay there. Duryodhana ordered all his soldiers to prepare makeshift tents and all this is very near to the Pandavas ashrama. Makeshift tents were arranged overnight, and then they were staying in Duryodhana, Dushasana, and all these persons were staying there. Karna's tent was very near to Duryodhana's tent, and it was arranged like that. So by early morning when Pandavas got up, all these tents and all these were surrounding their place. And on that particular day, Dharmaraja was performing an yagam. And one day yagam he wanted to perform, and he has taken the Diksha for that, and he was sitting there. Sankalpa was done, and he was sitting there. And these persons, what they did was that they were doing all these festivities, activities, and also pomp, occasion. Nowadays, what we can call and DJ, something of that nature, we will be calling, like that of nature. They with all pomp. And it was so disturbing to the Pandavas that Bhima was getting wild all the time, but he could not do anything because he was adhering to the dharma. That was the thing. Ultimately, there is a zone here, and they were doing all this activity. And this was going on. Then after some time, Duryodhana got very thirsty and he wanted to have some water. And the water which they fetched from the Hastinapura got exhausted, and he asked some persons to go there and fetch water like that. Then some soldiers went there and saw one pond of water, big pond of water. They wanted to take the pond of water. And then they saw one Gandharva, so soldiers were there. And they advised, no, you are not supposed to come here. Our king Chitrasena, or Chitrasena, some places it is written as Chitraratha, he is staying here. This person, he is here. So when as long as here with his what is called his queens and all these persons, you are not supposed to enter here at all. Please go away. Then these persons told, our king is a great king. Duryodhana is there. He is a king of kings. He is a Samrat. And this also belongs to us like that. No. He is a foolish person. He is a foolish person. He can't even touch this water. They told, you go there, tell your Karna, you tell your Shekuni and all those persons. Then Duryodhana got wild, he sent his Dushasana, he sent Dushasana went there, he fought with the Gandharvas. In no time he was defeated. He was defeated, he came running back. He sent Karna. Karna went there, he was fighting with all these arrows and all this. He was defeated in no time. And Karna, I believe it or not, Dushasana at least came back to Duryodhana again. Karna ran away from that place to a long destination, not to be seen at all for some more time. He went long way. Duryodhana was asking, where is Karna? Karna is not there. He was defeated and he ran away. Then Duryodhana realized what is called the difficulty of waging the war, and he came personally because it is his prestige is involved here. He came there. He tried to fight with Chitra, that Gandharvas. Gandharvas came there. Chitra Sena came there. Chitraratha came there, and a bitter war took place. Duryodhana fought bravely, but still, what happened is that he was slipped from the chariot and he was thrown into the ground. When he was thrown into the ground, he was caught immediately by Chitrasena and he was tied to the chariot of the Gandharvas. And once he was tied, a few ladies were there. The ladies were also caught hold of, and they were also tied to the place. Dusyasana was caught, and he was also tied to the chariot. And then Chitrasena told, okay, now let us take all these persons to Swargalokam. Let us take, let Indra perish. Like that he told, and they were carrying them like that. This was the situation. When this was the situation, what happened is that Karna was not there. Karna has not seen all these things. He was there in long distance because he was so afraid of the Gandharvas that he ran away. And you have to see this Mahabharata, we have to see all these things. When few Gandharvas, this was the situation. When this was happening, what happened is that this a few soldiers came running to Pandavas because there was no other person. The king was not there. King was caught. King was caught and he was being taken away by Chitraratha. And some queens were also caught and they were also being taken away. Dushasana was being taken away, and some Vindanu Vindas. Yesterday I was telling Vindanu Vindas also I was telling. They are also what is called Pandavas. Menat, what is called maternal aunt sons only. So they were also tied and they were also taken away like that. And then this was the situation. They were going to unknown destination. Gandharvas were taking them to unknown destination. And what happened is that all the people came there and they were asking, and Bhima was saying all these things, and Bhima was happy, very happy, and his joy knew no bounds. He was telling what has to be accomplished by us with all our efforts has been done by Gandharvas. That is there. That is in famous quote is also there in Telugu, of course. Kagalapani Gandharvulu Chesari, like that it is there. But anyway, it is a audience is a English audience. All other different persons are there. I don't want to go deep into Nanaya Tikkana Mahabharatam. And here, what happened is that Gandharvas, what we wanted to do, the Gandharvas have done. We are happy. They have removed our burden also. They have reduced our burden. We actually, I wanted to go fight with them. This Dharmaraja is not permitting me. And the Arjuna is actually following my brother all the time with no knowledge and all these things. I wanted to fight and I wanted to kill all those persons, but this person, he was not permitting me. I was like this. And now my work has been done by Gandharvas. I'm so happy he was feeling like that. Then what happened is that by that time, Duryodhana was calling from the skies. He was calling aloud, Dharmaraja, please help me, please help me. You are Dharmagna. You know Dharma. Oh, hey, Bhimasena, you please help me. Hey, Arjuna, you help me like that. You go there, fight with them because I am being taken away. Please help me like that. He was actually doing a lot of crying. He was doing that. But Bhima was telling that Bhima was not willing to go. At the time, Dharmaraja comes. There are beautiful slokas are there, 10-15 slokas are there here, and he was telling something. He was telling Bhimasena, Arjuna, I am telling you one thing. Please go immediately and help him. Go there and convince Chitraratha if possible not to fight and relieve them. If he is not relieving them, fight with them. Apply force also. Bring them back. This is my order, he was telling. Bhima told, no, I don't want to go. I don't follow your advice now at least, because all these days I am listening to your words and all these things, and we are in this state of affairs. Now I don't want to listen to you also. Because what you are talking, these persons have given me poison. These persons have destroyed the Laksha Gruha. These persons have dragged our wife to the court. and all this activity, they have snatched away our property, and you are still telling that you have to protect them. What are you telling? You are doing something wrong only. But now, anyway, we are actually keeping quiet, and just like that, if we keep quiet, also no problem. If they are taken out, and then after 12 years of exile only, you are telling we have to suffer 12 years of exile, 1 year of Agnatavasa. Okay, we will do it. After that, we will go there. We will go there and we will have the property without any fight and all these things. These persons will not give us Rajyam. It is there. You have to understand all these things. But then Dharmaraja tells Bhima, you are not understanding the issue here. The issues are two issues are here. See, this is Dharma, please. What are the issues here? One is Vamsha Pratishtha is there. Second thing is a Sharanagata Vatsalata is there. What is Vamsha Pratishtha here? If some aggressor is going to come to us, this is what is a Vamsha? Our Vamsha is a Kuru Vamsha. We are Kurus and they are also Kuru Vamsha. We are in Kuru Vamsha. When some third person is going to come there and take away the wives of all these persons, Kuru Vamsha people, and what is the prestige of our Vamsha? What are the future generations of the people think of us? What will be thinking that Guru Vamsha is not actually a great Vamsha? If their ladies are being taken away by some persons, they could not protect them. The people will tell. Here, they are there and we are here. And when we are fighting among ourselves, a very, very beautiful quote, which is most frequently quoted in Mahabharata, that is, Parai Paribhave Prapte Vayam Panchottara Shatam. Vayam Paribhave Prapte Vayam Panchottara Shatam. When there is Paribhava, something is there, we are Panchottara Shatam, we are 105%. If some other person is there and coming to destroy us, when outsider is going to humiliate us, what is there? We are 105 people. And Paraspara Virodhe to Vayam Panchaiva Te Shatam. Paraspara Virodhe, when we are fighting among ourselves, they are 100 and we are 5. This is you have to understand it. There is because the fighting between cousins is natural. It is a natural thing only because we are fighting with them and they are fighting with us. This is our issue only. But the issue here is not like that. The issue is Vamsha Gauravam is more important here. Parai Paribhave Prapte Vayam Panchottara Shatam Paraspara Virodhetu Vayam Panchaiva Te Shatam. That is the thing he was telling. So when outsiders are humiliating, this is the thing. This is a stand we have to take. Then one more thing he is telling. The thing is that it is a very beautiful thing. That this is one issue. The second issue is that he is asking Sharanagata Vatsalata. He is asking Sharanagata. He is a Sharana. He is actually asking. He is begging us to relieve him from this bondage. This is our duty. Kshatriya. What is the Kshatriya's role of Kshatriya? Role of Kshatriya is to protect the people. Because this is the dharma, swadharma of the Kshatriya, no? This is what we have to understand, Varnashrama system. No? The thing is that, the beautiful thing is that whatever roles designed for Brahmana is something, here the roles designed for Kshatriya is that he has to protect the people, number one. He has to protect ladies, that is the second thing. The third thing is that whenever any person, even if a Shatru is coming there and asking, begging for what is called Sharanagata, at the time you have to give him what is called, you have to protect him. That is there. These are all activities that are embedded for the system of Varna, the Kshatriyas. We are Kshatriyas. As a true Kshatriyas, what we have to follow, these dictums we have to follow. And he was telling, if you want to read out one or two shlokas on the here. See, he was telling one thing. He was telling Sharanagata Vatsalata, how it is important. He was telling. Varapradhanam Rajyancha Putrajanmacha Pandavaha. He was telling other Pandavas. Varapradhanam Rajyancha Putrajanmacha Pandavaha. These are the three things. Normally, these are the great boons. Giving what is called giving a boon to a person, giving Rajyam to person, giving a lady is approaching you for a Putra Janma, then giving a Putra Janma for her. These are the three great virtues. Those days it was believed like that. Varapradhanam Rajyancha Putra Janmacha Pandavaha. Shatroscha Mokshanam Kleshat. This is the fourth one. Shatroscha Mokshanam Kleshat. When Shatru are there in Klesha, if they are there in difficulty, their Mokshanam in the sense relieving of those persons from the Klesha. Trini Shaikancha Tatsamam. These first three are equal to the Fourth one, that is what is more important. Varapradhanam, giving a boon, giving a kingdom itself, giving Putajanma to a approaching lady. All these things are on one side, and Setroscha Mochanam Kleshat is on the other side. This alone is equal to all these things. So here, this is actually what we are doing is that if a person is coming there and he is asking the trahi like that, if we are doing, even if he is Setru, we have to protect. This is actually our dharma. There are two issues. Because of these two issues, what we are supposed to do is that we need to protect the Vamsha Gaurava first. Second thing is that we need to protect, we need to follow the dictum of Kshatriya Dharma, that is called Kshatriya Sharanagata Vatsalata. We have to do it. Because of this reason, we have to go there and fight with them. Then even then also, Bhima was not willing to go at that time. The Arjuna comes forward and tells, yes, I take the pledge. Whatever you are telling, I will follow. Then he asked Bhimasena, why do you argue with him? Why do you do like that? Please understand what he is telling. This is a greater issue is there. Dharmaraja is a Dharmagna, we know. Because me and you, compared to the Dharmaraja, that all these passages are there. We also know Dharma, but still our Dharma is what, our knowledge of Dharma is much inferior to the knowledge which Dharmaraja is possessing. That you know it, no? Then Bhima told, yes, I understand it. He is greater than us in the aspect of understanding Dharma. Bhima tells, then please follow me. Both of us will go. If you are there, I am there. If both of us go there, we can easily conquer Gandharvas. We take the help of Nakula and Sahadeva also. We go there, fight with them. Let us follow the orders of Dharmaraja first. Bhima agrees. Okay. He agrees and they went there. And then all these persons went there, and then they try to convince Gandharvas. Hey, Gandharvas, please stop there, like that. They were not stopping. Arjuna puts an arrow so that their road was prevented in between, like that. And they had to come back again. And again, at that particular stage, he was Chitraratha was not to be seen so far. Chitraratha was in Adrusha Visha only. Some Gandharvas were seen here and there. A little war took place. Then Arjuna was asking, without fight, will you relieve them, or should we fight with you? Then we want to fight with you only. Then the bitter fighting took place. When the bitter fighting took place, and the bitter fighting, and Chitraratha was displaying all his magical weapons and all these things. He was standing in the skies, not to be seen at all, and he was fighting. But Arjuna was no worry for him. He was having a lot of astras. He was having. He got it. Just no, even Pashupatastra also he got. And but he was with normal arrows only. He could destroy the what is called Maya Shakti of Chitrasena, and in no time Chitrasena was defeated. When Chitrasena was defeated, Chitrasena appeared before him. Then they saw together, when they saw each other, they saw earlier also Chitrasena fighting took place long back. One more story is there. One more story we come across in Mahabharata, wherein and Pandavas were time, I will see what is the time. So what happened is that in the earlier place also we come across one episode where Chitrasena and Arjuna fought together, and that is also a very good story actually, and why they fought and all these things. Anyway, that story now I don't want to narrate because time is also not there. So that at the time they were actually, they became friends also. At the time Chitraratha has given some chariot, some ashwas and all those persons to Arjuna. They went out. Then they saw, Arjuna saw, Chitraratha, you are there. Why are you fighting? What are you doing like this? Then Chitraratha tells, no, you don't know Arjuna, you don't know Bhima. Why you have come here? There is a purpose is there behind us. Thing is that this man Duryodhana, this Karna, and this Dushasana, all these persons, they devised a plot. The plot is there. The plot is that they wanted to come display their riches and tease you only. Because of this reason only they have come. Yesterday the plot was taken place, and we are this was witnessed by Indra. Lord Indra. Indra told, you go there and teach them a lesson, and then they will understand this. That is why only we came in the orders of Duryodhana, Indra. We came here. That is why please don't ask this Duryodhana and Dushasana. We want, because on the orders of your father Indra only we came here. So because they wanted to tease you, he wanted to teach them a lesson. So we came here. And also we were testing their power also. We have tested their power and they could not defeat us. And we tested your power also, you defeated us. So they could not defeat and you defeated. So now it is proved to the world as a whole that Pandavas are greater than Kauravas in the physical war. That everybody knows now. I am not worried about my defeat in your hands, because I know that when Arjuna is there on the other side and I am this side, I am going to be defeated. I know it. But still I fought. Why I fought? Why I fought was that on the orders of Indra only I fought. I fought with all my might, but still I am defeated. But, this is only just to show to the world as a whole that even Gandharvas who could be defeated by Pandavas were not defeated by Kauravas. This is to be proved. Now that is also proved. And one more thing is that Indra ordered that this Duryodhana and all these persons are to be caught and brought to the Swargaloka. Now I am coming. I have come like this. Please don't obstruct. But Arjuna tells, no, it is not like that. You are following the orders of your king. Okay, fine. But I am the son of Indra. I agree. But still, I am on the orders of my brother Dharmaraja. I have to follow him. If you still want to take him, you have to fight with me only, and you have to go. If you are having the valor, let us fight. No problem. Because you are my friend and I am also your friend. But still, I am giving the challenge. Let us fight, no problem. If you are winning, take them. If I am winning, I will take them. Then Chitrartha tells, no, I can't defeat you, I know it. I am giving you this, the Duryodhana and Dusyasana I am giving. Then please bring them to the place of Dharmaraja. All those, the Dharmaraja, they brought to the place of Dharmaraja. Dharmaraja sees the plight of Duryodhana. His heart got mellowed, and then he could not get up on the altar of Yajna because he was there in the Yajna. Then he was telling that, okay, then he tells, okay, he asks Bhimasena, your brother is there. He was tied so tightly, please go there and remove his ties. And Bhima goes there and removes the ties. And then Duryodhana got up and he bowed on the feet of Dharmaraja and stood before him with folded hands. Then Dharmaraja tells, there are another 5 or 6 slokas are there here. Tells, Naina, son, my dear son, or my dear brother, whatever it may be. Always aggression will not help you. Aggression is possible only some occasions only aggression will be helping. All the time aggression is not a great thing. All the time you believe only peace is more important than the aggression. That is more important. Aggression, sometimes you may be winning, sometimes some other person may be winning, but by virtue of peace you can establish what is called good relations with any person. Please follow that one. Here outwards, don't be impetuous, don't be aggressive, be follow certain rules, regulations, the dharmic way you understand like that. And then what happened is that he with folded hands he told Chitraratha, you are great enough to relieve my brother here, and we are very happy for that. And we are always in debt to you only. Please go and tell your king Indra that upon our request only you have released, and you don't tell him that we have defeated you and all these things. You tell them that and on our advice you have relieved them, like that you tell like that. He asked Chitraratha, and Chitraratha appreciated the greatness of Dharmaraja, and then he left for the place of Indra. That is the story. And after this also a little story I will be telling. What happened is that Duryodhana was actually totally humiliated on that day, and then Dharmaraja advises, go there, take possession of your Rajyam, do kingdom, you become great king, you are having lot of vassals, go there like that. Then he left and he went there to a long distance, now not nearer to that place. The tents were removed there, and some other long distance they went there. And there on the night he wanted to stay there only. When he was staying there and he was totally humiliated, nobody was dare enough to approach the Duryodhana, because Duryodhana was actually, the fire in him was going on like anything, and he was totally humiliated, and he was sitting in that particular spot, not to be talked by any person. Even Shakuni could not approach, no other person could approach. At that point of time, from somewhere long distance, Karna came running. He saw all these persons. He came there. And he was so much happy that Duryodhana has defeated all those persons, and he is happy. And even he comes to Duryodhana and immediately was telling, I am very happy to see you here, Mitrama, and you are here. I could not defeat the Gandharvas. Those persons you have defeated, and you have come very safe. You have come very safe and very happy. I am also very happy. Why are you like this then? Then Duryodhana begins to narrate the entire story. Karna, you don't know what has happened. You have ran away. At that particular point of time, all these things happened. Everything, entire thing he narrated. Then Karna tells, then he tells, I am so much of humiliated like that. Karna tells, why are you humiliated? Why should you be humiliated? You should not be like that. It is they are your subjects. Pandavas are your citizens only. It is their duty to protect you. King is there to protect the people. When king is in trouble, it is the duty of the people to protect him. Why are you worrying? Their duty only they have done. What great they have done like that. This is the argument of Karna, and of course, subsequent part I am not discussing what is going to happen. Then, because some people will be telling that the Karna is a great man and all this is because of this reason. A little extension of this story I have told today. And then what are the implications of the story? The implications of the story is that this is the plot of the story is designed in such a fashion that it is there to spread two important issues. One is called Saranagata Vatsalata is there, and the power of pardoning is also there. The power of pardoning is more important. The power of pardoning is being told in many times in Mahabharata that Shrungi gives a curse. When Shrungi gives a curse to Parishit, at that time Shamika advices will be there very great in Mahabharata. He will be telling power of pardon is more important. Whenever a person is there, humiliation condition, even though he is a Shatru, give him pardon, leave him like that. Charanagata Vatsalata. That is one important aspect. Then his Vamsha Pratishta is also one of the important topics that comes up for discussion here. Because this Vamsha Pratishta, why I am telling this, emphasizing this aspect is that if this what is called, if a new aggressor is going to come and try to invade into your internal affairs, internal disputes and all these things, it is the duty of these persons to save the Vamsha Pratishta, and you need not go to that what is called enemy. This is more important things. When some other intruder is coming and he wanted to interfere in the internal affairs of a particular country, it is the duty of all the countrymen to protect the country's prestige, responsibility, and all these things. But if this is had this principle been followed by Indians in the subsequent stage of times, a lot of things which happened now would not have happened. No, that is the thing, that is what we have to understand. India would not have fallen prey to the external aggression had this principle has been internalized. But the principle that is there in Mahabharata has been internalized by our kings. That was not internalized by the people. People read Mahabharata, they don't internalize the Mahabharata. That is a more important issue we come across. Because of this reason, when any foreigner is coming there, and even then all the time our people go there and invite them and doing all this activity. And recently I come across good books. I was reading history books only. There I saw some incidents wherein in the 17th century, particularly in 17th century, when the Britishers were coming there, and the two kings were actually fighting something of that nature. If one king is caught and brought to the place of the English people, parading something of that nature with all humiliation, all the people standing this side and that side, people stand there and they used to clap. This was a condition, please. This was the condition we witnessed in our history, majority of the places. When Babar came there, Babar was invited by none other than that. Who is this person? Babar was actually in Afghanistan. He was there at that time, Punjab area, that Sikh community person. I don't remember his name. That person, one more person, both persons went there and they invited Babar. Please come there and defeated Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi, at that time, he was a king of it is called Delhi. He was invited. Similarly, when Akbar he was helped by some other person. Himu was at that time, Hemu or Himu, whoever it may be. He was a king at that time. He was the first king ruling it from Hastinapura area after medieval age. At the time, also somebody from Indian people only helped. When Alexander came to India and the Prithviraj Chauhan episode, we know there also some other person from here only, Jayachandra invited him and he came there to defeat this person. Like that, in all the episodes, wherever we come across, Britishers when came there also, even internal kings only helped them. Here, this particular dictum that was told by Dharmaraja, great dictum. If other persons are coming and invading us, then we are 105 persons. And if we are fighting among ourselves, they are 100 and we are 5. This dictum was not followed at any point of time in Indian history. And here, even now also, you believe it or not, there are some pseudo scholars or pseudo secularists, whatever it may be, those persons also, they are not seeing the broader aspect of what is happening in the country. That is also there. This story is very much relevant for us because so even now also the breaking of India forces and the what is called the people who wanted to destroy the civilization culture. Yesterday I was telling the story of Kalakeyas. I was telling yesterday or day before yesterday, I don't remember. There also the Kalakeyas plot was that you go there in order to destroy the civilization. What we have to do is that you have to destroy the elite people who are well versed in shastras and all these the persons. You destroy those persons. If you destroy those persons, civilization is collapsed. This is what happened in Greece and other areas across the world. If you take into consideration, now the Mesopotamian civilization is not at all there, but still Vedic civilization is still surviving because of so many reasons. For that, so many people tell different reasons they will be telling, but even then also we can't be complacent. What is happening is that sometimes even now, earlier days it was a physical aggression. Now it is a soft power being used by different countries in order to suppress the greatness of India. That is happening. So here the character of this is one aspect. Now, then one more important aspect is that the Chama Guna is there. No, Chama Guna and not hating any other person is a great rich, what is called activity. That is called what is called attribute of any single person. That is why Bhagavad Gita we come across a beautiful shloka. It says that Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukka Sukachimi, like that it will be coming a class. It is in the this is actually in the 12th chapter. It is there. 12th chapter everybody will be having a by hearting, I believe, because 12th and 15th chapter everybody knows it. Even though rest of the Gita is not knowing, majority of the people will be knowing. This is in the 12th chapter we come across. Adveshta Sarvabhutaram Maitra Karuna Evacha. This is there. So Sarvabhutanam Adveshta, you need not have any, that is Dvesha should not be there. Maitraha, Karuna Evacha, this should be there. Nirmamo, Nirahankaraha. Of course, these are good qualities and attributes of a great person will be discussed here. And Dharmaraja has displayed these great qualities here. And this is what is one more aspect we will be seeing in this particular episode. All episode, I mean, that Bhagavad Gita also tells that when all these qualities, if any person is displaying, he is nothing but Atmagnani. Atmagnani is Atmagnani person, is a Gnani type of person. Dharmaraja has displayed the same this thing only. In many places, the virtues of Dharmaraja will be coming into prominence in Mahabharata. That is why only this is actually a story revolving around Dharma. Because of this reason, Dharmaraja is what is called Nayaka of this entire Mahabharata. And here Ramayana and Mahabharata people tell, because out of I don't know how far it is correct only. The thing is that in Ramayana we see Rama was crowned. Why Rama was crowned? Because Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. That is why he is actually a personification of that what we can call Dharma. If a murti is made out of Dharma, the murti is Ramachandra. Because of this reason, he was crowned. Dharma has to be crowned there. Here in Dwapara Yuga, Krishna could have become the king. But Krishna did not want to become the king because there is one more Dharmatma is there. He is Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Because Dharmaraja is the Vigrahavan Dharmaha here. Because of this reason, he became the king. Ultimately, he was the king of. That is why only Yudhishthira Shakam also started. That is why people actually say like that. Here, Dharma is more important. Krishna, because he wanted to establish Dharma, Paritranaya, Sadhuna, Vinayasaya, Dushkrutam, he could have actually taken possession of the kingdom and he could have commanded, but he did not want it because there is one more Dharmatma is there. He did not want the kingdoms and all this is. What is more important is Dharma is more important. So here he came there and he wanted to establish Dharma, and Dharma Raja is there. So this is one thing. And one more thing is that here people tell that there is some comments. People will be telling that Dharma Raja is a silent tiger. Here, what they will be telling is that he inflicted here in this particular episode, you believe it or not, and saying the entire episode, he inflicted a bigger blow on Duryodhana's ego. Then the Gandharvas with their arrows on his body. That is there. That is because Gandharvas pierced his body, but Dharmaraja, with all his chama and all these things, he pierced his mind and all these things. He politely but firmly admonished him. Politely he talked, but firmly he admonished him. And that is why only he was called as a soft tiger. People call him Dharmaraja as a soft tiger. It's very difficult to deal with him. That is there. That is Rajaniti is like that. Raja should be like that. That is why only people will tell you Mahabharata, first chapter of first Adi Parva itself, people will be telling the mind of a Brahmin and the mind of a Kshatriya. The mind of the Brahmin is actually Navya Navanitam, like that. The mind of a Brahmin. But the walk is there, no? The walk is actually Darunas Kandala Shastra Tulyam, that is called. It is like as sharp as a weapon, it will be there for Brahmana. But it is totally opposite for Kshatriya. Kshatriya's virtues are, he is actually, that's Vaku is actually Navya Navanita Samana. Oh, that is called, I'm sorry. Kshatriya's heart is very harsh. Heart is very harsh. Daruna Kandala Shastra Tulyam. The Palku is, that is called Vaku is Nindu Navanita Samanam, like that. That is called, actually, it is as sweet as, that is nectar, something of that nature. That is called, what is that called? Like a ghee is made of makhan is there. No, like that it will be there. But Brahmin is something different. Brahmin is actually, heart is very mellowing, but his walk is actually Daruna Kandala Shastra Tulyam. Like that people will be describing. This type of, it is called how Kshatriyas behave, how Brahmanas are behave, and what is their heart possessing of the, what is this person's heart is possessing of. This type of discussion we come across in Mahabharata. Many places we come across. This is one more aspect of the story. And this, and what else is there in this story? Then this is there. And one more small important thing is that we come across this Gotram, we will be calling, what Gotram you belong, no? This is also actually, this story we come across this Gotram aspect, because it is, of course, it is not connected to the story. I'm just telling anyway, the story is told. This also I'm telling, because in earlier days, this particular story we come across the episode of this is called branding of cows, branding of the cows and counting of the cows. In those days, and cows are the property of the people. That also we discussed. When cows are the property, what was happening is that each rishi was maintaining thousands of cows. Gautama Maharshi was, it said that Gautama was possessing 10,000 cows he was having in those days. So where are they, along with these 10,000s of cows were used to go out and for grazing and coming back, like that. Many other small rishis will be there, no, small munis, rishis and Brahmins and all those persons. They cannot go and graze on their own. They can't take their cows and graze them in the forest. What they were doing is that they were putting their cows also along with this 10,000 cows, whatever it may be. And they were also going like that. Over a period of time, what happened is that the Gotra is there, no? Suppose I am a small muni and Gautama is a big muni, and I will be sending my single cow to that particular spot. I am also believing that I belong to the Gotra of this Gautama Maharshi. There are some other, Vasishta is maintaining so many cows. Then along with this cows, one more cow is being added by some other person. That particular person belongs to the Gotram of this Vasishta Maharshi. Like that, this Gotra have evolved like that. And most of the historians tell like that. I don't know whether it is true or not. We don't know. But the Gotra, how the Gotras have come up means this is the reason. That is why only Sagotra there are no marriages, because these people belong to one clan of one community of people. Those persons belong to some other community of people. Their cows are there in the shed, and these cows are in this shed. Like that, this has come out like that also. People tell, but I don't have the valid, that is called source for authenticating or testifying this particular aspect. Anyway, they are there. And beyond that, I don't think anything is there in this episode. All of the things we have discussed. Now, leaving now 7:44, it is 7:45 almost. 15 minutes is there for questions and answers for today's discussion, and also for yesterday's discussion also, because yesterday there were a lot of questions were there. Yesterday was, of course, a difficult subject. And let us see what are the questions are there. We can try to discuss.
ఓకే ధన్యవాదములండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Now anybody wants to ask question? Pantul garu.
నమస్కారం సార్.
Sir, this regarding yesterday's. The other day, he was telling that Pandavas were given training by Dronacharya, archery training Dronacharya at Dehradun, that is Dronapuram. And that day, and also the Arjuna came forward to give Guru Dakshina voluntarily. Maybe because of that reason, he is Dronacharya is biased with Pandavas, sir.
Sir, I would like to ask you, how can you infer that he is biased to, biased to Pandavas in the sense that there is, of course, there is some reason, sir, because yesterday I forgot to tell one more thing, because after listening to the lecture, because for telling the story of Ekalavya, I was also giving the long anecdote of Drupada also I was giving. Dronacharya also I was giving. Because in order to understand Ekalavya story, you need to understand the story of Dronacharya I told, and I was narrating the entire story. But subsequently the connection I have forgotten to give. Thing is that here, when he was actually humiliated by Drupada, he has taken a vow. The vow is that I want to punish this person. I want to punish, because he is by vulgar ego. What he is doing is that he is actually negating my mitratvam. He is negating our mitratvam. And because we are old friends, in spite of that, he is forgetting all this is because of his ahambhava. He is doing like that. I have to reduce this ahambhava of this Drupada. But the thing is that he was not having warriors. He was not having soldiers. So he has to depend on some king who is having lot of soldiers. That is why what he did was that initially itself he asked, both Kauravas and Pandavas he asked, who is going to help me at the end of this entire Dhanur Vidya? Then Kauravas did not come forward. Pandavas also did not come forward. Only Arjuna came forward. Arjuna came forward and he took a pledge that I am going to help you. That is why normally what happens is that here there is one person who is going to take care of his needs. The Dronacharya should have a bias only, because he is having two objectives. One objective is that he has to take revenge against Drupada. For that purpose, he needs army. The army can be taken only from a king. The king is actually one king. Arjuna is coming forward. When Arjuna comes and tells it, normally he also knows that Arjuna is one of the brothers of Pandavas only. One brother is coming, because other brothers also will follow suit. And there also he is going to become the Yudhishthira is going to become the what is called the second in the Yuvaraja he is going to become. When he is going to become in Yuvaraja, then normally they will be having the positioning, all the army will be there. That is why only he has special what is called respect for not respect, special bias for Pandavas. Definitely it is there. That should be there also. That is the reason why only Ekalavya, when he was asking the thumb of the Ekalavya, there are many reasons are there. One reason is that he was a trigger friendly person. And what will happen if he is going to be given is one aspect. Second aspect is that he has his own purposes also there, because only Arjuna is going to help him in future. That is also there. Arjuna, and he has promised, because of this reason, he has promised that you are going to be my greatest disciple, and among all my shishyas, you are the crowning person. Like that also he has told that he has to keep his promise. That is also there. So many aspects are involved here. That is only the Dronacharya story I told earlier. Dronacharya story is also greatly important, because in order to reduce the ego of Ekalavya, so he has to give special importance to Arjuna, because Arjuna is the only person who is going to help him in future. That is also there. So because of this reason, he did not give to Ashwatthama also, he did not give. He gave it to Arjuna only. That is a special privilege he has given to Arjuna among all the Pandavas. Pandavas, all other Pandavas are treated equally only, like any other person. But Arjuna was given special preference, because Arjuna was passing all the tests which he was giving. That is also there. Second thing is that he was having the devotion also. And one more thing is also there. Maybe at the end of the Vidyabhyasa, there is one more small episode is there. And the episode is that on one occasion, Dronacharya pretends that he was actually caught by a crocodile. He went into the river. A crocodile comes and caught hold of him. Dronacharya was a great person. With a small arrow, he could have killed it, but he did not kill it. I am suffering like that. Please help me. This crocodile is taking me away like that. He cries loudly. When he cries loudly, what happens is that all the Kauravas were there, Duryodhana, Dusyasana, and all other 100%. They heard the cry of this person, and they immediately rushed to Hastinapura to bring what they called all the weapons and all these things. They wanted to bring all arrows and all those things. They went like that. But here, what happened is that Arjuna, he took out his grass, and with a mantra, he pronounced a mantra, and he aimed an arrow at it and pierced what is called the entire crocodile's body and saved Dronacharya. By the time all those persons came back with all arrows and all these things, Dronacharya was already relieved. So all these things he tested this Arjuna in different ways. He tested. Only after testing all those persons, only the worthy person only should be given the education. That is also there in our dictum. Suppose if I begin to tell some person Bhagavad Gita, and I should not tell it, even Bhagavad Gita itself it is told. Only the worthy person who is really interested to hear, that only we have to tell. All persons come here, I am going to tell. It is not like that. It's not, our Shastras are not like that. We are not going to tell like that. Here also he did not want to tell this to everybody, because only the worthy person, and the worthy person only we have to give the education. And again, Shama, Dhamma, Indriya, Nigraha, whether all these things are there or not, also we have to test. When all these things are established, in the face of difficulties, whether he is going to aim a small arrow or a big arrow, and how his behavior will be there in the difficult circumstances, situations, and all these things we have to assess. Then only we have to use any education. That is why he is having special bias with Arjuna, definitely. Not Pandavas, I can't tell. Arjuna, it is definitely there.
So like that, sir, in there is in Kurnool district, Dronachalam is there, and there locally they are saying that Dronachalam and Pandavas are together stayed there and has given more training at that place. Is it true, sir?
I don't know, sir, because I never heard of it also. I don't know.
Now it is called as Don. Earlier name is Dronachalam.
Oh, I don't know, sir.
Don, sir.
Maybe, sir, that is there. So here, what is happening, because the greatness of Pandavas was such great, it was so popular that most of the villagers in those days may be following, telling that this is the place where Pandavas came, like that. In Bangalore also, very near to this Bangalore, maybe some 20 kilometers distance from my house also, Ivara Kattakonda, like that one place is there. Ivara Kantapuram is there. Ivara Kantapuram, where if you go there, Pancha Pandavas, 5 temples are there. People will be telling that this is the place where Bhima cooked, this is the place where Nagaraja was staying, like that people will be telling. Why people are telling is like that? Because they wanted to enhance the prestige of their village also by virtue of associating Pandavas there to that particular spot. Maybe that, maybe also there, or really also Pandavas must have visited there, we don't know. But according to Mahabharata and other places, the place where the entire Astra Vyasa took place is that Dronachalam, the Dehradun place only. It is established, sir. The distance from Mahabharata, the Hastinapura and Dehradun, everything is mentioned in Mahabharata. So in that distance, it was actually the Astra Vidya Pradarshana took place. Astra Vidya Abhyasa took place like that. Because there is mountainous region is there, no? Because of the mountainous region, less populated area, where easily archery can be practiced. That is there, sir.
Finally, a small additional information, sir, for information to all. And in my childhood days, my grandmother used to chant some mantra, and finally, if any child is suffering from stomachache or any indigestion or yeah, then my grandmother used to chant some mantra, and finally touching the stomach by chanting Jirnam Jirnam Vatapi Jirnam 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 Vatapi Jirnam, like that. The actual story behind it at the time, even till yesterday also, I don't know. But now, yesterday when you narrated that one, it could be the reason, and it is the reason that all the ancient people were chanting these mantras.
Yes, sir.
Just for information, sir, is not it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you.
That is there in
Thank you.
Mahabharata, sir. That is why we tell that the roots of Indian culture is embedded in Mahabharata and Ramayana. That is why only Mahabharata, Ramayana are to be read. That is how we tell, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Vijay Garu.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and Guruji Pranam, thank you so much for narrating it so wonderfully. I have a question regarding yesterday's lecture. When Dronacharya asked Ekalavya to give his thumb, was it more symbolically? Because sometimes I feel that it is more symbolically saying that you should not use it. So is there any clear mention in Mahabharata which says that you cut the thumb and give it to me?
Yes, sir. It is there, sir. Thing is that in Mahabharata, it is very specifically mentioned that he wanted to, whatever knowledge he has gained by virtue of using the name of Dronacharya,
Correct.
he wanted to take it away. He wanted to take it away because he does not want that, because he wanted to follow that Satyavratam. Satyavratam he wanted to follow because he has given already a promise and that he has to adhere. So one more
Correct.
Shishya cannot be there beyond the greatness of Arjuna. That is why he specifically asked, cut your the right hand thumb and give it to me. And he
Oh,
very happily cuts it and gives it to the hands of
oh,
Dronacharya. Once that is done, both people were happy. Even then, Dronacharya was great pity for him, and he comes to him and tells that, anyway, your what is called the dexterity in archery is going to be reduced by virtue of this. I know it, but still, I advise you to do archery in this fashion, like that. He uses the other two fingers. In this way, you practice it, and he demonstrated it before the Ekalavya, and then he left.
oh, okay, okay,
That is it, sir. That is mentioned.
okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
Sujit Garu.
Yeah, Namaste Guruji.
Namaste,
This is
sir.
in continuation to what Vijay just asked. In the original Jayam, where there are, say, 25,000 slokas, is the Eklavya part of that, or is it of a later bhashyam of the 1 lakh slokas?
Sir, I don't know, sir, to be frank, because the JM first 8,800 shlokas are called JM. People tell that is actually, sir. This is thing is that this interpretation is brought out by modern historians only. Modern historians only are telling that 8,800 shlokas are written by Vedavyasa, and it was expanded to 25,000 shlokas by Vaishampayana, and subsequently it was done by Ugrashrava in the Naimisharanya to the extent of 1 lakh, because slowly and slowly this is to be explained in a bigger fashion. That is why it is done like that. But this is only modern day interpretation. But otherwise, traditional scholars still believe that all the shlokas are written by Vedavyasa only. Vedavyasa has written all the shlokas, because otherwise, this entire Vedas which were there in pelmal conditions in different directions and scattered also, he could assemble all those things and give a perfect position. This is Rigveda, this is Yajurveda, like that. The mantras where the particular mantra has to fall, like that, he has done like that, and Mahabhagavatam he has written like that, and all these things people will be telling. In that case, can't he write this one? And one more thing is that Vedavyasa is the very incarnation of Mahavishnu, people tell. So other than Mahavishnu, who can write it? In that way also there is one more slokas is there in Mahabharata. So in that way, if you think like that, traditional scholars, if you believe all shlokas are written by Vedavyasa only, why modern people are telling like that is that we need not, this is again one more, maybe I believe that we need not rely and we need not read Mahabharata, because only the Mahabharata is consisting of 8,800 shlokas only. Later editions, because many other persons have actually injected their own shlokas here, and that is why it has become like that. Otherwise, how the people, person remaining in 5,000 years back could visualize the things that are happening nowadays and present day society and all these things? It is very difficult to understand also. And you believe it or not, when Mahabharata war took place and all the civilization developed at the time, all other areas across the world, if you take into consideration, those persons are actually hunting class only. Hunting class, even not even having what we can call prehistoric period, and what we can call what is called not even Neolithic age. Maybe before that. That was a
And the
situation.
continuation,
Because of the
in
reason, in
continuation,
order to suppress the greatness of our pride and all this, this theory must have also been invented. But certainly, whether this particular Ekalavya story is there in which part, 8,000, 25, I don't know. That I don't know.
okay. So in continuation to that, so in many places there's this thing of the Gandharvas coming, and the war between Gandharvas is great warriors and they are there. But if that is partly true, there has been no record of then Gandharva invasion or Gandharvas coming in later scriptures.
Sir, I could not understand the
After,
question, sir. The clarity is not there. I could not hear properly.
okay, sir, 1 second. Let me just. That in the scriptures where Gandharva is coming as fighters from Indra's heaven, and there are many points where there are wars by Gandharvas. But in later scriptures, like after the Mahabharata and many of the later scriptures, there is no reference. We don't come across much reference of Gandharvas, nor even, like you say, from a modern perspective, if I were to look at it. So we don't see any such phenomena as a Gandharva. So is it a figment of imagination at that time, or is it a reality?
Here, people tell that in the time Mahabharata period, Dharmaraja, Pandavas, Kauravas, and all these people belong to the Sandhi age. That Sandhi age is Dwapara Yuga ending is there, Kali Yuga Prarambha is there. That Sandhi Kala they were. Sandhi Kala, maybe in earlier Yugas, Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga, gods coming here and frequenting with the people and mixing with the people and talking with the people is a very common phenomena in those days, maybe like that. Because Kruta Yuga also we come across the same type of stories. Dwapara Yuga also, Treta Yuga we come across the same stories, and Dwapara Yuga also. At the end of Dwapara Yuga, maybe from that time onwards, the Dharma is actually, which was earlier on the path, it is called four legs, it was strolling over the world. It was reduced to three, and then it was reduced to two. And when it was going on a single leg, what happened is that the Devas and Gandharvas and all those persons did not want to mix with the people directly. That is how people tell. That is the reason after Kali Yuga is coming to the picture, there is no what is called no evidence, or what we can call no episode of any Gandharva visiting to any person and they are talking to people and all this is not there like that. Earlier yugas, what is called yuga, each yuga, the dharmic dictums will be changing, and also the people's tendency to dharma is also changing. Maybe in earlier yugas, all those persons were used to come here, mix with these persons, and maybe marriages are taking place, and all these things were happening in those days. Maybe after Kali Yuga starting, all these things are not there. So suddenly it is not there. Suddenly it is not there means from that time onwards, they are not visiting the earth. They are not visiting the earth directly. They are not coming. They are forming in the form of different ways. Daivam Manusha Rupeda nowadays. People will be coming. King, the Daivatvam, the Deva will be coming in the form of some other personality, maybe some other animal or some other thing. Then he is blessing people like that. People tell like that. That we have to understand in that way only. Otherwise, reasoning and all this is because we have not seen Dwapara Yuga, we have not seen Kruta Yuga, Treta Yuga, whatever it may be. So people, our scriptures say that at that time Devas were frequenting the earth. Now they are not going.
Okay.
This is Sandhi Kalam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Babu garu,
Okay. Shall we go for Pradhan?
Yeah.
After that, we will see. Pantul garu? Are you there?
Audible, sir.
Okay. Start, please.
Yes, sir. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यां परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महीचा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु काले पर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रा पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अदनाः सदनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. పూర్ణమదః పూర్ణమిదః పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. సర్వే జనా సుఖినో భవంతు. హరి ఓం. శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. స్వస్తి.
ఓకే, పంతులు గారు, దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ అపశృతులు ఉన్నాయి స్టార్టింగ్ ప్రేయర్ లో అండ్ ఎండింగ్ ప్రేయర్ లో కూడాను. అది కొద్దిగా కరెక్షన్ కావాలి. మీరు ఆ టీంతో సంపర్కం చేసుకుని అవి కరెక్షన్ చేసుకోండి.
నోటెడ్ నోటెడ్.
ఓకే, నౌ లెట్ us go for నేషనల్ యాంథమ్. చల్లా చిక్కుబాబు గారు.
Yeah. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हिंद.
జై హింద్. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిక్కుబాబు గారు.